It's time to focus on the things you need, the things you deserve. You deserve a healthy body, supplements that get you moving and keep you moving, that make you feel good, look good, do good. And they shouldn't contain GMOs, artificial ingredients, or heavy metals, ever. Supplements that are clinically studied, use proven absorption technologies, are designed by scientists, and are ethically sourced and produced. Supplements with everything you need, nothing you don't. You deserve a company that you can trust, that's dedicated to safe manufacturing practices and third-party testing, that ensures the highest quality of effectiveness from extraction of ingredients all the way to the composition of the packaging. Wait a second. You deserve to see the process. You deserve a company led by a CEO with a deep belief in the power of people, dedicated to inspiring entrepreneurs to achieve success. A company with a phytonutrient chemist and expert on natural molecules who is obsessed with human health and has your best interest in mind to design its products. A board comprised of talented doctors from around the world. You deserve to be surrounded by people you trust and look up to. Empowered ambassadors that inspire wellness every day. Leaders who are rooting for you to be the best version of yourself. A community that works hard and plays hard. You deserve to experience adventures that take you around the world, and you deserve to be recognized for your hard work. It's time to get what you deserve. It's time to shift your focus. 3.
Hey everyone, welcome 3 family. Holly Roush tuning in from Florida, and so excited, 1, to be in my home tonight because I feel like we've been on the road forever, and 2, to have these amazing people that are on tonight to discuss the incredible weekend that we had in Las Vegas. You know, every time we go to an event, it seems like how can it get better, but it seems to top the one from before. You know, we had a leadership event last year, same time in Las Vegas, and it really was a lot of Kim and Samson, both just kind of sharing the vision of 3, how we got to become 3, and kind of laying what this platform was going to look like. And fast forward now to a year later, to hear from such incredible leadership, one backed by another. I think it's very hard to figure out which takeaway was the biggest for each of us because everybody that spoke was so powerful. You know, Kim, I mean, she's just a ball of energy. How can you not get engaged in listening to her and her years of experience and wisdom and her confidence, really, knowing she's made over 100 million in the industry, and to make the decision to start over and do this again. She's only doing this to go big, but not go big for herself, because she's done that. She wants to go big for every one of us in the world of 3, and that's exciting. You know, hearing from Samson, he's always calm, cool, collected, always driven with his message, very clean and concise, and he did that today. We had George and Adrian Ruiz, Holly DeMott, brand new 5-star. So excited to have her a part of 3 and watching her rise in the ranks and just her message that she had. We had Alicia Clevenger out of Iowa. I was telling this group earlier, it's so much fun to not only see leaders who have been in the industry and have success, but brand new people to the industry that maybe have never done this before and they're seeing success, and that gets me excited. Jessica Johnson, powerhouse. When you hear about her and her story, anytime you get a chance, listen to her. Gary shared so much about mindset and what he's gone through to get here, and he's going to share a little bit with you tonight. And then Chloe, oh my gosh, Chloe, just the cutest little doll. I mean, she's like a porcelain doll, and I just want to get up next to her all the time because she's so happy and so joyful, and she does this because she loves it. Daniel, off the charts, his messaging, his commitment. We're 3Xing 3 in 2025. That for me, my number one takeaway. We are 3Xing this company in 2025. Let's go. He introduced a brand new president of 3 in Tyson. We had Hepping and then Christine Peterson. I mean, hello. She shared a story of how she met her husband, and that was fun. She's like, I'm always selling, right? all her years in Mary Kay, and yet she's bringing her talents to us at three. So super blessed. And I'm not going to take too much time because I have amazing people on to share with you right now. And I want to share their takeaways, and I'm going to wrap it up at the end. So let's start out in San Diego. We're going to start out with Nilbert Ning. He is amazing. He also got to speak a little bit with Samson. I think Samson might have caught him off guard a few things there. Samson's like looking at him like, you know the answer, right? And I could tell Nilbert's like, I'm not really sure where you're going with this. And that's the thing. When you sit in that front row, you never know when you might get called up on stage. Retired military vet of 22 years in the US Navy. Nilbert, thank you for your service. We are so super grateful for your commitment and sacrifice to this country. Thank you. Thank you. Married to his wife for 32 years, one grown son who just got married last November, which my son just got engaged, first one, three boys. I'm so ready to welcome a girl in the house and decided to become an entrepreneur. And I want him to share a little bit. Nilbert, the biggest thing I want you to start with right now for all of us is if I missed anything in your background, please share. I think you're new to the industry. You've walked away. You're doing this full time and dealing really with high level professionals. And why three? You know, of all companies out there, what made three stand out for you? Nilbert, take that away.
Well, thank you, Holly. Thank you so much for having me on. I really feel honored and blessed to be able to share a little bit of my background as well as this takeaway from this amazing weekend that we had. So why three? When I started, becoming an entrepreneur, the main reason for that was because after 22 years of service, I spent so much time away from family. So I really wanted to be able to do something that I can scale my time. Hence, working for myself, right? But then it so happened that my wife and I got introduced to the amazing products of three by accident, as people would call it. But for me, it was really divine providence. I mean, God really made it happen that way. We were traveling overseas when we both got extremely sick, and that's how we got introduced to the amazing products. We were so amazed at how quickly it helped us recover that I really wanted to look into this and then discovered the amazing opportunity of three. And so I really believed in the products. I saw that the company was a brand new company with so much potential. And then it was a global opportunity. So I was that's it. I jumped in with both feet, and that's why we're still here, doing this.
I love it. And you said something powerful there because it was the products that got you in. And that's when you first learned about it. So you saw the power of the three products, but it really was the opportunity that made you take a look and knew if the products work, I've got to share it with everyone I know, love, and care about. Right.
That's
All right.
right.
So, Nilbert, the big question, I love to kind of get a breakdown of what everyone thinks after an event like this. Like, what was your favorite? What was your biggest takeaway? I mean, I think 90% of the people walk around away with like their aha moment, something that maybe they heard before but didn't hear it in this way. I'd love to know from you. And what would that takeaway be for Nilbert?
Okay, so that's actually a very, very tough question, Holly, because there's just so much that our leadership poured into us, that there's so many nuggets and they're all valuable. They all help us grow our business. But okay, for me, you might find this a little weird, or it was like three statements from three different people all put together. So I'm gonna wrap it all in how it happened for me. So first was James Dixon, right? I mean, oh my goodness. Like, I mean, I don't think there was, I saw people, grabbing their tissues and all that because of, how he relayed the story. I almost had to put my sunglasses on because I was trying so hard not to like lose it, right? He said, okay, in brokenness, right? In brokenness, great things can happen, right? Whenever we face trials, it's an opportunity to find your strength. So that really hit me like in the gut. Like, I mean, after hearing his story. And then I tied with what Daniel actually, Daniel, again, always over the top. Daniel said, don't tell me what you've done, tell me what you're going to do, right? So, don't worry about the past. What are you going to do now? And then, I tied that together with this one sentence that I picked up on when Mark Ewell and the rest of the five stars were on stage, right? And Mark shared with everyone that he had to go through a very tough time, personal time with family. So all that together really drove home the point to me that, when we look at our leaders, these are leaders that we can really relate to. These are leaders who are very, very real. They've gone through the same pain that a lot of us are going through, the same struggles. They're not just like some far off like star that, okay, wow, they're multimillionaires, they're so successful, and they're very different. No, and that's what really inspired me,
Right.
because you know it's something that, just being at an event like this, that is how you experience this, right? It really hit me that, I can do this. I can really do this, because the leaders that I've shared all their knowledge and experience, they've been through everything that I know that I've been going through. So
Oh, that's awesome. I love that. And, transparency, right? And authenticity are the things that I really did come out of the leadership this weekend. And I think sometimes we see these people that are at the top and we think, oh, they got it all together. Trust me, you have no idea what's going on behind the scenes, but sometimes they put up this strong front because they want to help everyone, and they deal with their own personal stuff on the side. And so it was really nice seeing that. And I do love what Daniel said. It doesn't matter what you've done in the past, it's what you brought to three. And so we're all hitting the ground running. We're all in the same level playing field, and going out there and sharing the exact same way. So Nilbert, that was awesome. Now what I want to know is, you've got these takeaways. How is Nilbert going to put those into action?
okay, so it's twofold. First one is definitely, um, I want to, I had 10 of my team members at the event. So I'm really so proud of them.
Great.
And so the plan of action definitely is to get, to triple that, quadruple that, or quintuple that for our next event, right? For our convention coming up in Utah. And then the second part of that is, we were taught the very, very simple, way to grow our business, the power of three. It's such a simple formula that anyone can do it, right? Samson definitely drove that
Right.
home. If you're serious, can you do this? It can definitely be done. So definitely that's the plan of action right now. Utilize the power of three, grow the team, and take them all with me to the June convention.
I love it. And so, guys that are watching this, just think about this. However many you have sitting in that room, if you get 100% committed to go to the next one, and those 10 go out like Nilbert has, because he got 100% sitting in that room, are going now to the June convention. Imagine the numbers he's going to have at that convention. So he's going to keep a running list. He's going to have a goal of 50 or 60 in that room, and he's going to slay that goal. And so I love the action that you're taking. And what's your personal goal between now and June?
So between now and June, my personal goal, so I have 7 stars, 7 rising stars in my team. Some of them are 3 stars already, and they're mixed with level ones, level twos, level threes. My goal is to have all 7 of them walk across the stage in the June convention as 3-star pros or higher.
Love it.
That's the goal.
Nilbert, what I just heard there was, it's not about me, it's about what my team can do. And that was powerful. I love it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with having a goal for yourself, because we need that, right? And if we help others achieve that goal, you'll get yours. So thank you so much for sharing tonight. You're such a blessing and such a gift. We appreciate you. All right, Nilbert was awesome, amazing. It was so fun to hear about his takeaways. Now we're going to head over to Kathy Lewis, who is just outside of Madison, Wisconsin. She probably doesn't know that my dad was superintendent of Janesville, Wisconsin, and also Hamilton School District outside of Milwaukee. So I've spent a lot of time up in the Wisconsin area. She's a retired homeschool mom of 20 years, has 6 children, a grandma of 10 plus 2 on the way. How is this even possible? It's the 3 products. I know that. I just tell my friends, like, look, if I still look like this in 5 years and you don't, I told you, like, that's on you. And that is what Kathy is saying right now. So, Kathy, I want you to share a little bit about whatever I missed on your story, your background, but why 3?
Yeah, well, I'm glad thank you for telling me I don't look like a grandma. That's
No.
and I want to say something about that. You said it's the 3 products. Well, 3 has only been around for just almost 2 years, But I will say that like how I feel at 54 and how I look is because I have been proactive for 20 plus years. So this isn't new to me at all. Like proactive wellness isn't new to me. I was the person 20 years ago that was, going to an acupuncturist and a homeopath and a naturopath, and people are like, what is that? And I was stirring my chicken broth with my chicken feet and chicken heads in it, and people thought I was crazy. So this isn't new to me, but I did not think I'd be doing this a year and a half ago. I was launching my own brand and I was on this path. I'm an entrepreneur through and through. I've done many through and through. I've done many things. But I was following Holly DeMott on social media, and I really love her as a coach and a trainer. I was in the same company she was with prior to this. And I saw her on social media and she was posting something that did not look like the other company. And I'm like, what is she doing? And I know she has a really high bar for supplements. So I respect her both business and supplement choices. And so I reached out to her and she knew that I was a supplement girl. Like I'm a label reader and I have a high bar for supplements. So she got me on the phone with Dr. Alicia Clevenger right away. And after that phone conversation, I was like, I have to do this. I have to do this because the opportunity, the timing of the opportunity and the products aligned. And I didn't even know I was going to do this. And here I am on a global call. Like this is crazy to me,
That's
but
awesome.
it's too
Speaking to
good.
the world. Yeah. Speaking to the world of three. And you brought up a great point. It is all about proactive wellness for sure. And sometimes people think they get into three and they try a product and they have to have an aha moment. Well, all of our bodies work different. And so what might not be an aha moment for you may be for your friend, family, or neighbor. Like I didn't have issues, but I'm taking care of myself now so I don't have the things later. And so our products are what pull people in because there's so much credibility behind them. They work, their stories. But it's the opportunity, and it's when you have something great in your hands on it, why wouldn't you tell everyone? Like we owe it to everyone, and then it's up to them to make the decision. And you dripped on there a little bit about obviously Holly's a powerhouse, and I absolutely love her. I mean, she has the best name ever, Holly.
Right?
But look, she piqued curiosity on social media. And so it does show just a little bit of things. I don't say build necessarily on social media, but that is a way to connect as well. And so sometimes you lose touch with people maybe that you had been in touch with in the past. And that's a great way to do that. So I'm super grateful that you and Holly were able to connect. So much like Nilbert, I want to know from you, because I imagine your takeaways are probably different. Sitting at convention on, we're there all day Saturday and Sunday. What were your most powerful takeaways? And let us know about them.
Yeah. So my most powerful takeaway was just one big overarching thing. And I just want to give a little background. So about a year ago, I went to a regional in Dallas, Texas, and Daniel Piku was there. And I wanted to go just to get a feel for this company because I knew I loved the products, but I'm like, what is it? What's the culture? What's the feel? Who are the leaders? And I had never been in a room with such a visionary ever before. I mean, it was a room, there weren't that many people there, maybe like there were less than 100 people there. And he was speaking as if this company was a multi-billion-dollar company. And I'm like, wow, like I had never experienced that before. And so, anyway, so that was really amazing a year ago. This leadership conference, he 10x'd that. Like he is the greatest visionary that I have ever been around, that I've ever listened to, actually. And just this whole weekend, Daniel's vision just like oozed out of him. And like you want to have, like if you're going to go into business with somebody, you want to go into business with somebody who knows where they're going. And he 100% knows where he's going. It says in the Bible in Proverbs 29:18, I think it is, people without a vision perish. These people in that room were alive. Like the whole room was like vibrating with vision. And the other thing is, and this is also a Bible reference in Habakkuk 2:2, it talks about write the vision, make it clear, so that he that reads it can run with it. And so I was like writing all kinds of notes down because, and this might be your next question, but because what I want to do is I want to take this vision and I've written so many notes, and I want to be able to pass that on to the people that I meet, that my team. I want to be now the visionary who casts the vision to my team. So
Awesome.
yeah.
And the biggest thing about getting vision and seeing that your belief rises and your confidence rises in the things that you're sharing. And this is another reason why being in the rooms at these conventions or events where leadership is there is so important, because you lean on their belief, you lean on their confidence, and it gives you more, and you're able to rise up. And I agree with you. It's Daniel, every time keeps coming into his own and just casting the vision of, we're two groups that came together. We have Asia and North America, and Asia can do 1 billion and North America can do 1 billion, but it only happens if all of us come together and we do our part. And I saw a room of about 400 people that all were raising their hand, jumping in their seat, saying, I will do my part. And so I can't wait to see in June what happens at convention. Of all of those 400, I feel like that was the leadership that took ownership and said, I'm doing my part, I'm all in. So what are your goals for in June? Like, what do you hope to accomplish by the June convention?
Yeah, and so I wanted to say one other thing about Daniel that I had forgotten. He said something so powerful. He said, we're already doing billions. I just need you to get on board with me." I was like, and I was thinking that is how multi-billion-dollar companies are made.
Yep.
It's made up here.
Yep.
So anyway, that was a super powerful statement. So like Nilbert was saying, the power of three,
Yeah.
that my goal is to do that. Like, I've never systematically built this business. So I want to systematically, like, I want to do the power of three. And I was thinking, I want to not just do it once. I'd like to do it twice or maybe 3 times before convention.
At least 3. I think 3 times 3. I think that's a goal for everybody.
Yeah, that's my goal.
Awesome. I love it. Well, here's what she's talking about, the power of 3. This is in your app now. So it was just went out in an email on Monday. And it's helping, go out, recruit 3 people into your team as brand ambassadors on the premium pack or above. You're going to get $100. You help them do the same. So help each one of them get their 3. You're going to get more money all the way up to $1,200. This is such a great promotion. And I actually have them working on a tracking sheet where you can fill in the circles for accountability. So you know exactly who you've sponsored and them sponsoring, but you guys can write it down on a sheet of paper. Let's all get this going. I think, again, 400 people in that room all said, I'm doing that sheet, and it's achievable. 900 points, 3 people on the premium pack, which I love the premium pack because it's one of every product. It gets your hands on each of them. You can feel it. You can touch it. I always tell people it's important to get one of every product. Why? Maybe immune's not the one for you, but you happen to be sitting next to someone who's not feeling well. They're dying for the immune and you don't have it. But if you got a pack that had one of everything, you could show them everything you have. And back to the vision and the $1 billion company. I mean, how good and how professional do we look? I mean, look at the packaging, the branding for a brand new company. No companies look like that in our space and in the industry at all. And at such a early infancy in the company. Gets me excited. I'm ready to run through a brick wall. All right, Kathy, thank you so much for sharing. And now we're going to, I would say, go out to Sedona. We're at a coffee shop right now, somewhere in the middle of nowhere, but we've got Gary Wharton in Sedona, Arizona, real estate guru, top 1% in his field. Who doesn't want to be a top 1%er? 18 years in the real estate market, but 10 in Sedona, which is an absolutely beautiful area. I was just telling Gary, we all, I'm very intentional in the places that I like to build because I like to build in places I want to vacation. So just talking to Gary tonight already, I'm like, okay, I got to get some people in Sedona so I can visit Gary and take my people to his meeting. So Gary, I'd love for you to share anything that I missed on your background, how you became to know 3 and why 3.
Oh, well, Holly, listen, thank you so much. And Gilbert and Kathy, great to see the both of you. What a phenomenal weekend that was, right? Like, I had the opportunity to be at the leadership meeting last year as well. And it's amazing. I remember how much growth I took away a year ago, and to see where we're at today is just, it's immeasurable progress. And it's really exciting. You got everything, my friend. You got everything there. So thank you for the introduction. I'm really grateful to be here. Holly, you and Corbin smoked it. You guys smoked it. You tore the house down and then you blew the roof off. Like, it was incredible. I love it. I love every time I get to be around any one of you leaders who have been around for a while, and you guys are so willing to share your knowledge and your depth and your wisdom. And for me, I'm like a sponge. I just want more and more and more.
I love it. I love it. So tell me a little bit about how you came to know three, Gary,
Yeah.
and why three?
Sure. So I've been in real estate for years, and through the pandemic years, we saw a radical shift in the real estate market in the community I work in. For most real estate agents, it was incredible growth, right? I ended up doing, I want to say in the year 2021, I did 43 transactions with just me and an assistant.
Wow.
If you're familiar with real estate, that'll be a surprising number. While it was amazing and I saw my wealth go up and the increase in my bank account, I saw the adverse effect in my own health. And so I got to a point where, I was almost 100 pounds overweight. I was diagnosed as type 2 diabetic. I had leaky gut. I wasn't sleeping anymore. I'm hypertensive. I mean, I could go down the list of litany of health issues I was having, and it frightened me. To be really honest, it frightened me. I was very I unfortunately lost my dad. He didn't even make it to the age of 60 years old, and so these type of things stand out to me. And I knew that I needed to make a shift. Now, very fortunately for me, one of the clients that I happen to get to have an opportunity to build a relationship is with Kim. And so over the years, I got to know her a bit, and looking out for a friend, she basically asked me, she said, Gary, what are you doing this for? Why are you willing to trade so much of your own self for monetary gain? And Holly, was a really powerful moment because it made me like question and begin to go back through everything that I had thought of. Well, why am I doing this? Why am I willing to do this? What is it that I really want in this lifetime? And it just turns out by asking that questions, I was off my path. So.
Wow. And it just shows, one, that you never prejudged, because Gary on the outside is, top 1% real estate agent, killing it, crushing it in Sedona, but his health is suffering at the same time. And so I think sometimes we tend to prejudge because they're too successful, or they don't have enough success. They have too much money. They don't have enough money. You've got to touch and tell everyone, because you never know if it's that person that's on his knees praying for an opportunity like this one. It turned around with his health. And thinking of Sedona, and I was fortunate enough to meet Kim out there right before the launch, and talking about the visionary this weekend. One thing someone talked about, like dirt, and they could see the vision. It's funny because Kim took us out to one of her properties, and she was showing us just her vision of what it would look like. It wasn't finished yet, but she could see it, and she had us, like, we could visualize it as well. And so I love that that's the way that you met her, and just that energy, like, of course you're attracted to it. So Gary, I'm sure, like everybody else, you have your own takeaway from the weekend. You've been to a couple events now. You're very new to the industry. What was it that caught your eye the most, and what was kind of your aha moment?
Oh man, I think that the stark reality of the fact that we are indeed moving into momentum is what hit me like a ton of bricks. Right, like you can see it in the talent. I have been very fortunate to be involved in a lot of different businesses over the years. I'm somebody who firmly believes in personal growth. I know magic when I see it, and we have it in spades. That room is packed full of so much talent. There's so many incredible human beings in there that with powerful stories, and they're motivated for the right reason, right?
Yeah.
Like, one of the things I think about, like, no matter how many times I hear the story, Holly, of how Dr. Dan was inspired by his grandfather, who was his hero growing up, right? His grandfather being, one of the people that was on the team that discovered vitamin B1, right? Thiamine. And when his grandfather came to have to face the fact with a cancer diagnosis, it motivated Dr. Dan as a kid to go after something. What I love about that, and this is the formulator of the products that we have, right? Everybody that's in that room has a powerful story, and they are heart-centered reason of why they want to do this. I mean, Dr. Dan, one of the things that I love is that we often hear from our team, our BAs, our brand ambassadors, that is, how is it that I talk to people? That's usually like the low-hanging fruit, right? That's some of the first questions that we get. And Dr. Dan and Daniel Piku and Tyson as well, our president, they put their heads together and they decided to come up with a new statement, basically an elevator pitch. How do we talk? So they're out front leading by example. We travel the world to find unique, powerful molecules and carefully develop them into products designed to support your health and longevity.
Look at you.
I mean, right? So like they're out in front setting the standard and leading the way for us so that way we can move into the phase that we're designed to move into. This is year 2 and we have a long way to go. So
I love it. And I do think that was a big thing out of the weekend is just simplifying our message. I mean, that's really important because you do sometimes get stumped, like, how do I introduce this? And so one, I thought a big standout was your story. It's so important to share your connection, like why 3, that's what you're sharing with people because you're connect with them on a heart-to-heart level to where they want to open up and hear more. Our products have all the credibility in the world. You don't have to be the science because all the science is right there in your app that you can share. And how powerful was it that people who are actually sharing stuff from the app, they said people who are sharing 5 things from the app are getting 1 enrollment.
One enrollment. Yeah.
Right? For every 5, 1 enroll. Hello? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Funny thing is when they said what's most shared, I was like, application. For me, that's what I share a lot. And everyone else was the science. But I share a ton of the science because I don't want to be the scientist. I didn't go to medical school and I'm not going to pretend to, but I can hit copy and paste and send that link all day long. So awesome. Gary, thank you so much. Okay. Now tell me with everything you got, what's your plan of action?
Oh, well, listen, I'm still like, putting that into action, but I'll give you just the basic framework of where we're at right now. So after Las Vegas, I made my way to San Diego, Nilbert's neighborhood there. And I met with some friends over the last couple of days. It's really about getting out in front and talking to people.
Agreed.
So for me, having had I think we had 29 people, at the leadership training. One of the first things is making sure that our people are getting to more meetings of any sort, right? And so first off, Holly, like I want to say thank you to you and Corbin for really calling the action out of getting people to register for convention, right? So we had 100% success rate, so all of our people are going to be going to the convention. In my first of 3 items that are takeaways that we're implementing immediately is to get people to memorize and understand that mission statement, of who we are. Like right off the top of their head. I think that if we have the unified message and it's clear and it's something that they can all share. Can you imagine? It's just incredible.
Yeah.
Implementing everything that we took away from this leadership training. And so again, like you, power of 3, right? Like this is a super powerful tool, and making sure that everybody not only is pumped and energized for it, but is also putting in the proper framework so we can execute it, right? And so it's all about growth. Our goal is to triple the size of the organization, and so for me, that means tripling the size of my team with this year. It's going to happen. Absolutely.
I love it. I love it. Calling it out. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. And if y'all don't mind, I'm going to just kind of spitfire a few things that I got out of convention. And a lot of mine are like business details, but get in your app, learn that power of 3. Soon we'll have a graphic in there that you can print, download, and start filling in your spaces, because that's accountability where you get to really actually see it. Now, when you're sitting down with someone, you're like, hey, let me see your power of 3. How many have you recruited? How many have you sponsored? Have you helped them? And it gives you an idea, your roadmap of what to do. I also love the new little brochure they came out with. It's smaller, but has everything about products, opportunity, the comp plan. These are great to share. This is in your back office, 3swag.com. I do think that we don't get branded enough. I think it's very important because it's an easy conversation. When you were in a 3 hat, which by the way, were those not fire, those green hats? I mean, I love it. It's like a master's hat. They look so good that everyone got. But people will ask all the time, if you have something 3, what is 3? I also think it's important to have the brochures, any marketing materials, product samples that you can give them. I love to carry Eternal with me everywhere I go. The collagen's always with me, the Vitality, because I can give some marketing information. I can give some samples. Why is that important? One, I try the sample with them. I want them to taste and feel it. It's not about the aha moment, but it is about them seeing it taste amazing and they're going to want more. But when they go home and they put stuff like this on their counter, maybe they haven't gotten back to you yet, but all of a sudden a friend, family, neighbor walks into their house. They see something like this on the counter and they're like, hey, what's that? Oh, my friend Gary just shared this amazing company 3, but I haven't done anything with it yet. And they're like, well, I want to know about it. And all of a sudden they got somebody interested, all because they had information laying on the table. So get yourself locked and loaded with that. I believe we're going to be a multi-billion-dollar global company. I know that Daniel didn't start this not to. I know Kim didn't come over to do this. I didn't stop what I was doing to come and do this, and all of our teams together, unless we were going to take it somewhere that hasn't been done before. And we're doing this industry in 100% the right way. 3 is a brand you can be proud of to share with your friends and family. But like I said this weekend, don't keep it a secret. 3 should not be a secret. Like, you need to tell everybody. And I saw 400 people come together on the same page and say, we're getting out there. We're busting the doors wide open. The leadership was phenomenal. We're going to 3x 3 in 2025. And we want to do it with each of you. We can't do it alone. I think that was another big thing we got from the weekend. It takes all of us. It takes all of us unified. It takes all of us doing this together. We are one. Obviously we have our teams, but together globally, we can feed off each other and learn so much from each other. And together, united, we'll grow huge. 100% sign up at convention. This is why you go. Daniel did make a commitment to let us know it way more in advance next time. And we will see this leadership event every year, likely in January, which I think is powerful of bringing them together. The power of 3, we're going to do that. The app's a powerful tool. Keep sharing things from that app. I just don't think there's another opportunity, another company like 3. If you're watching this and you haven't committed to June, you have to get to convention, get your ticket tonight. If you haven't done it, go get it tonight, because here's what I know. The sooner you get committed, the more people you'll bring. And the more people you bring, the easier business is, because rather than just one person coming back and talking about it, Gary had 29 coming back. Nilbert had 10. Kathy had, I'm not sure her number, but when they all go back and start talking, it takes a lot of the pressure off of just one person. We're just getting started. There's events happening across the country. Plug into your upline, know what's happening in the world of 3 so that you can plug them in. On Mondays, there's always a worldwide corporate opportunity, or 3 opportunity Zooms where you can put guests on. Tuesday night, Empowerment Tuesday, where you're just going to learn stuff. Maybe you had a bad day or someone rejected you and you're like, man, I need some powerful wisdom and insight. That's what you get here on Tuesdays, also from your upline. And then Wellness Wednesday for the people who love the product and want more details. We're putting that out there, and so many other things happening every single day. Guys, if I were you, I would go take on your backyard. When I first started in this industry and I lived in Tulsa, Oklahoma, we didn't have social media. We had flip phones, and we had to get in front of people. And I was like, I want all of Tulsa, Oklahoma in my team. I would tell you, wherever you live, you need to have that mindset. I want everybody here in my team, because if you don't, your friend, your family, your neighbor will hear it from someone. 3 will be a household name. It's going to 1 billion. It's not a matter of if, it's when. And we want you a part of it. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us tonight. We can't wait to see you on the next one. Don't forget Wellness Wednesday. Dr. Dan, by the way, is on the road. He's in Des Moines, Iowa, St. Louis. He's going to be in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Dallas. Make sure you know where those are happening. You're sending friends and family. Using events. More meetings means more money. 1 person to 100 people are a successful meeting. The point is, you've got to get started. I've heard each of these people on here saying, I'm doing one-on-ones, I'm getting face-to-face, I'm getting in front of people, I'm hosting in my home. You need a place for your team, your brand ambassadors, to bring people. While you're confident in sharing, they may not be, but they can bring people to you. I appreciate everyone tuning in. Thank you guys for your words of wisdom and sharing your takeaways from the weekend. We can't wait to see all of you at the next one. Make sure you get on Wellness Wednesday tomorrow. Thanks, guys.